start, Kitty. Please introduce yourself by sharing your full name, your role, the type of practice or the specialty you're in, and your location.
My name is Kate Mannon. I am the owner and chief nursing officer of Interim Healthcare of Mercer County, New Jersey. We are a home health firm or a healthcare service firm in New Jersey that serves about 7 counties in New Jersey.
Wow, and the growth is just amazing. Wow. Okay. So before working with DocVA, I'm sure part of the growth there will be challenges, right? But we wanted to understand before you come to DocVA, what were like your pain points?
A lot of our issues were surrounding billing. We weren't billing claims in a timely manner. There was confusion with how to bill with some of the different third-party websites with our EHR. Authorizations weren't consistently obtained or tracked appropriately. There were a lot of returned or denied claims that weren't followed up on. There was no reliable process for tracking declined referrals. We also didn't have consistency in patient documentation being sent to providers or insurance companies. Before we had DocVA, over $100,000 in aging accounts receivable and outstanding claims before we decided to make the move with DocVA.
Thank you for sharing that. That's a lot of challenges for sure. How quickly were you able to get a virtual assistant after your discovery call with us? And also, what do you like most about your VA? What were like the qualifications, his background?
It was pretty fast. I mean, DocVA was very responsive. We actually reached out probably about a year prior as we were looking at different options to help us. We reached out about a year prior, and we also interviewed quite a few other companies. Reached out to other virtual assistant companies, and we just liked DocVA. And it was very quick. DocVA was able to set us up with 3 interviews very quickly with very well qualified candidates, and it was a tough choice for us. Everyone had billing experience, everyone had claims experience. It was a tough choice to choose Alan, but he just had a couple of the personality things that we liked about him. Was probably what kind of put him over the edge. I don't know what it was, but there was just something about his personality that we liked. And it was easy to interview him. I think we probably talked to him most during the interview because he was easy to have conversations with. He's very tech savvy. I did appreciate when we had our first kind of orientation call with Alan after we'd selected him. There was somebody from IT from DocVA on the call with us as well, which was really important because I felt like we were lucky that Alan had experience already with our voice over IP service and our phone service. We were lucky that he already had that experience, was very comfortable with how to use it. He was already knew Microsoft Teams, knew Microsoft products. We had a couple hiccups in the beginning getting online, and he was very, very tech savvy. Like he knew exactly how to fix it. He bought back and forth between certain things. And we don't have any real communication issues with Alan. And we message with Alan multiple times a day. He always reaches out, says good morning, says he's going to hop off for the night. It's enjoyable to talk with him. He lets us know throughout the day what he's working on. Even though we know we have a big, DocVA does provide some tracking and things like that on things that they're doing. And when they clock in, we really don't ever have to check it because we're in such good communication with Alan that we know he's there and we know he's working on things. We don't ever really have to kind of micromanage what he's doing. We can see it, that he's been working for us. So we appreciate that. Even better contact sometimes than people we have directly in the office. He's just readily available.
So you've mentioned a lot of opportunities and I would say pain points or challenges in your operations, right? How does Alan help you and the operations, your company, address those challenges? And what improvements have you noticed since bringing him on?
Claims submission and billing follow-up. I mean, I can just drop this right now. We currently have, Alan has recovered $123,000 for us. So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That was on, claims that he just kept fighting for. He just kept going back to people and saying, you have an unpaid claim. And he just knew what to do. He knew the verbiage, he knew how to talk to them, and he knew how to connect with them, which is amazing. Even in cases where we've had insurance companies deny claims, he's been able to get workers' comp to cover those claims, and he's gone ahead and done the credentialing for us for the workers' comp. So he's moved so much from just billing to, credentialing that he does for us now. He monitors those aging claims. He investigates any denied claims that we have. I mean, he went with the VA. I mean, he really dug in with veterans to get their claims paid for, and just, he's not afraid to make the phone call. He's not afraid to get on the phone and, talk to people and find out who he needs to speak to. He sends our charts. He sends physician orders. He's now actually started scheduling some visits for us, which is, yeah. So I don't know how he finds the time to do it.
Yeah.
But has definitely proved his work. He is definitely, like I said, just the amount of work that he puts out in a day is pretty unbelievable. So I think he is a problem solver. So, anything that can streamline for us, anything that he can do to make things faster or easy for us, he suggests. I can count on him to answer the phone. There are definite things that we're going to be handing off to him, definite additional things we're going to be handing off to him as well, as long as he doesn't cry uncle, that we're overwhelming him. But, he also, we receive a great amount of checks as well, written checks. We would think in this day and age, we'd be doing a lot more electronic funds transfers, but we've been doing checks, and we actually have a system set up where our in-office administrative clerk will scan those checks to Alan. Alan will upload the documents and post those payments to accounts receivable. So we just have a really good flow going with him. It's seamless. It's really not difficult at all.
Wow. And how long have you been working with Alan now?
We've only had Alan, I think, since February, if I'm not wrong.
Wow. And I feel like he's been doing a lot for you. Because I remember.
So that's about 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months that we and $123 in 3 months is a significant amount of money for him to have recovered. And, he really, and he's enjoyable. He's just, we enjoy getting to know him, a little bit, and he's pleasant. He's very pleasant. The patients, he calls our patients, and they like him. I've never had any complaints, anything like that. Never any significant IT issues, past what we were able to fix in the early stages. Yeah. I can't say enough. We'll definitely be hiring again from DocVA. We've already been looking for, kind of putting out some processes that we would be able to do that, and the ways that we could, we supplement our staff with more people from DocVA, because it's just, the check-ins are great. We check in every month, and there's really not much to say when we check in. It's just, thank you, Alan. That's it. But he's just been a great extension to our team, and it's nice to have him. Our corporate office thinks he's great, so, which is nice as well.
This is big, and I could just really feel your heart, how happy you are while you're sharing these experiences to me. Couldn't be so grateful, right? That we talk. I remember I was just endorsing candidates. I was speaking to Alan. I was like, he is so perfect for this one. But I understand. You felt a little hesitation, right? Because it's your first time basically to hire a VA. So how would you address providers who are on the fence about hiring a VA?
Well, I think, there's a couple of things that are that they struggle with. And one of them, I think, is security, HIPAA, and they worry about those things. I don't see any difference. I don't see any concern personally in that. I think he's very cognizant of it. I think if there was any issues, I know that you were there. I know that you guys do have an IT team where we've just been reassured that, our patient's information is private. Alan handles a large amount of money for us, and all of our information, and we trust him. I think that his attention to detail is good. I think that if you have to call something to his attention that maybe just got missed, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I missed that. It's okay. This is a big system. It's a lot that we're doing. You've got this. You'll get it next time. I think we did hesitate. So I get it. You like to have someone in the office because you think they're right here. I can go in and talk to them. Alan is always ready. Yes, Kate, I can jump on a call. If I say, hey, Alan, I want to show you something that we're doing with our system. Okay, Kate, I can jump on a call and we can do a screen share. So it's even more convenient than getting up and walking across the office,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And, we appreciate Alan. We did give him off on his birthday as well, which was nice. But, I think it's a nice thing. And, people are concerned too, I think, with the time difference. That was another concern that we were worried about. We don't seem to have any problems. Alan's always on time for work, and he's here, during the day. So I don't think that's been a problem for us. He's able to, call clients when he needs to. And I know it's probably not ideal for him to be working at night, but it works out for us on our end. I don't have any concerns about that. He's very timely, he's very punctual. I feel safer using DocVA than I would be hiring privately. Hire someone privately remotely. I feel safer because I feel like we're supported by DocVA. I feel like there's you. Again, there's the IT piece of it, which is important when you're talking about, people using different systems across the country and things, and everything just works seamlessly. There's really nothing that I missed. Like I said, we found a way to anything that he needs that we receive on paper, we scan it to him. It's 2026. We can easily do that. So everything's pretty much digital anyway. So
wow, absolutely. You've answered all my questions. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time and obviously the insights that you've shared, your true experience. It's really going to help a lot of practices and providers to really make informed decisions in hiring an Alan. Okay. Oh, Dogby, a virtual assistant as well. So yeah, is there anything else that you would like to share, Katie, before we end the call?
Oh, I think I'm good. I think that's everything. I don't know how many other great things I can say. I think I said them all. Just we're just hoping to keep Alan for as long as we possibly can. He's just so smart and so willing to do anything, and just a pleasure. Like I said, it's really nice to have on the team, especially after going through a couple of other people, doing the same role in the office. It's very refreshing. So
wow, thank you so much, Katie. And I'm sure Alan would definitely know about this. We're actually showing these to our virtual assistants. We have a couple of clients who also did this testimonials, and sometimes they will tell us like we didn't expect this from our client, and they just sometimes we see people cry, we see virtual assistants cry, because sometimes it's like they feel like this is just a typical work. I report to my boss, and that's it. But hearing these words, we Filipinos, we are so appreciative. So thank you for that, Katie. And I couldn't say any other words, but just thank you for taking care of Alan. And he wouldn't be this successful without your guidance.
Alan knows very much how much we love him. So I hope that he doesn't cry, but we do very much. So
well, I'm not going to take much of your time. I'm hearing your phones, okay? But thank you for your time today. Have a wonderful rest of the day and enjoy your weekend, Katie, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks. You take care. Bye for now.